Hopefully it just looks like I'm dancing. My name is Nastasia, and I am the founder of VividBlackPaint.
VividBlackPaint is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
The mission of VividBlackPaint is to provide supportive programming for Black artists, Indigenous artists, and generally artists of color. I created VividBlackPaint because I was wanting to, one, get a lot of my own passions out, which is helping people, art, and circus and fitness and wellness overall. VividBlackPaint is going to firstly be based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minneapolis was the main city in Minnesota and kind of the igniting city for the world with these protests that are going on in the name of Black people.
The killing of George Floyd, that mantra of "we can't breathe," I just really wanted to figure out a way that I could best contribute and remind people that we absolutely must be able to breathe, and therefore we're born our We Must Breathe pop-up circuses that happened all over Minneapolis for summer 2020.
We are working with volunteers who are circus performers as well as generally artists, so painters, singers, things like that, who are choosing to offer their skills to provide a free experience for people who want to.
And of course, at our pop-ups, people were socially distanced, and we chose spaces that had a lot of open areas so people could make palettes separately, and we all wore masks and really respected space. The general reception was that it was an appreciated moment, especially for summer 2020, where things were just boiling over. They expressed that they were glad it was an option, and they really needed that moment in time.
We are working on our programs that will facilitate more mentorship and community, such as our life planning program, our worlds program, and then eventually our community house. And with that house, we will offer affordable housing, and inside of the house, we'll have studio spaces and creative spaces for the residents to be able to not just work on their life plan, but also to build their actual skills. Vivid Black Paint can be found through Vivid Black Paint on Instagram, Vivid Black Paint on Facebook, VividBlackPaint.com, and VividBlackPaint@gmail.com. So we're pretty easy to find. Just type in Vivid Black Paint on any of those social media platforms. Again, my name is Nastasia, and I am the executive director and founder of Vivid Black Paint. And I want to thank you, as you are appreciated, for viewing this video and for any support that you're able to give us.
Hello, it's me, the founder, Staj, the one in the video you just watched. Yeah, same person. I also wanted to talk a little bit more about the purpose of this GoFundMe. And so the video tells you a little bit more information about all of our programs and the vision for the organization. But for this particular GoFundMe, we are really looking to raise money for that community house that I mentioned. On the screen is our mission, and our mission really is to provide more supportive programming to honor and uplift aspiring, reestablishing artists of color, as well as to provide more welcoming spaces for people through circus and art, which we believe to be a vital piece of the mental well-being and social emotional development of people, especially right now. For the community house, we believe the benefits for that would be affordable housing, of course, with live-in house leadership, an alternative way to do it that exists and that works. Full-time access to arts-focused spaces within the home, reservable to any BIPOC creatives, as well as to the folks who would be living there, who would get first priority. And what we mean by that is we plan to purchase a home, renovate it, which it says at the bottom here, building up surrounding community by renovating otherwise unoccupied homes, renovating that home to be affordable housing, as well as to provide art spaces such as the basement may have our dance studio or music studio and things like that. And we have some very intelligent schematics coming up later in this video here. We also believe that living community with other BIPOC artists is going to be vital as well, because it is hard to find those spaces, to cultivate those spaces, and to really involve yourself and invest in those spaces. And we're looking for folks to do that. What the house will not be is this. We do not intend to just take the house, leave it as is. We do want it to be not just affordable, but also quality living space, because that is sometimes an issue with having affordable housing, is that it can be a challenge to have the upkeep. What we do intend is for it to look a lot more like this. We'll work with an architect to have them design the home with us, and we hope that it would be everything that we wish for. Ideally, we buy 2 houses and a plot in the middle, or 3 houses side by side, to really build up a community aspect to the community house and offer even more options. We also intend to have this be in more than just Minneapolis, which is where we're based and where we plan to build first. We want to be in a lot of major cities across the states. What we do want it to look like is more like this. And so, again, this is a vision. We, again, would work with an actual architect and development team to get this done. But ideally, if we can find a house that's suitable, we would transition or renovate the basement to look more like this, to have a dance studio, to have a music studio, a little photography area, and of course, a space for laundry and house hardware that go in there, such as the boiler and the furnace and things like that. And then a lounge space down there, which is something you will see incorporated throughout, because we really want to facilitate that community building aspect. And then the first floor, if you look at where it says front, we want to have an enclosed porch if possible, and that would have, again, space to relax and get to know each other, as well as space to work out. There's the little bike rack there, if you can't tell. And then as you enter into the front, we would want to have it set up to be sort of a gallery space for folks who, as well as a office space, so to speak, or a front desk area for folks who may not be actively engaged with the program, but they want to be and they want to find out more, or maybe they're new to the program. We want to have a nice professional entry that really speaks to what the program is about. And then next to that would be the media center for folks to use. Either they can sign up for a membership through the program or through the organization for our Life Community House membership plan, or they may be a resident in the house and they want to reserve space to go in and work on things, to print off flyers, to build websites, to do things like this presentation I have put together. And then from there, we would want to have it set up to where you have to enter the rest of the home to beyond this point. So you wouldn't necessarily have access to the entire home in the living spaces unless you are a resident. And so if you go past that first foyer area, you will see a dining and living space. And again, meant to incorporate and encourage community building and collaboration and people getting together. And then if you go to the bottom of this schematic on the screen, you will see a room meant for staff. So we do want to have a live-in VividBlackPaint staff in each of the homes who would also be manning that front desk and be the point of contact for anybody who's first getting acquainted with the program through the house. They would also help get folks acquainted within the home. If they are moving in, they would also be a part of that experience where helping that any new residents get acclimated to the folks who may be currently living there. And then there's a bathroom and then an art studio on that first floor, along with a kitchen, of course. And then the second floor will look a little bit more like this, with an outside porch in the back of the house. And then as you enter, these would be more of the living spaces, and they would either be multiple rooms or would be rooms that we create for 2 people to live in, with some sort of dividers that make it add to the privacy piece for when you want it, and encourage that, again, that collaboration and connection when you want it as well. And for the community house, we would look for this to be a program attached directly to our life plan program, which I did mention in the video above, and you can find out even more about that program through our website, www.vividblackpaint.org. But that piece of it would be, the goal would be to have folks go through the Life Plan program, which is a 1-year program, and if they are residents in the house at the same time, that would be directly connected to their residency. And then we would allow for a 6 to 9 month transition period for them to transition out of the house. And so it wouldn't be the end of the year, now you gotta go. It would be, there would be a plan. They'd be working with that staff because the plan is really to help people be independent and feel like they got this, not to be a crutch for them to lean on forever, feel like they always need this level of support from VividBlackPaint. Our goal would be to raise $250,000 within the next year. This would allow us to at least purchase our first home. It would give us a budget for renovations, and it would get us on our way to securing a staff for the house and create a starter budget for yearly maintenance and bills, because that is going to be a factor of any home buying experiences. Those initial expenses such as the renovation, and those ongoing expenses such as the light bill and the utilities, as well as maintenance of the home, and being in Minnesota, and so snow removal, leaf removal, grass cutting, and things like that. So ways to donate: you can use this GoFundMe campaign. Our EIN number is 8515125513. You can also directly donate to us through our PayPal, and the QR code is below. You can also use our website, and there's a link directly to be able to connect you to donating to our PayPal there or our GoFundMe, depending on how you find us. And thank you so very much for watching this little video and considering giving and donating to us and our vision. We appreciate anything you're able to do. On the screen, you're able to see the various ways that you can connect with us. Thank you so much, and have a great day.